All right. Hello, everyone. Hopefully it's everything's good. Okay. Welcome to a workshop about the demonstrating the Hyperion DEX, Hyperion testnet DEX. I'll be your host today, Pavel. Yeah, today we'll just be going over this, and then if there's any questions I know there's like multiple different platforms, so hopefully, this thing can aggregate everything. All right. So to begin with this, let's just get right into it. We will just start by sharing my screen. All right, perfect. Whoa. So right here we have, we'll be going over a little bit about the test DEX for trading. The purpose of this is to get everyone to use a single source for all of their trading activity within the HyperHack. And then, yeah, I guess you can find this information here in the documentation. So docs.metis.io/Hyperion. So if you go over here, we can type that in. And then we get over here. We'll just do light mode, just why not? So there's just a brief introduction about using the DEX. And yeah, we can just jump right into the DEX interface. So we have the hype test dex.metis.io. Let me just refresh that. Hopefully it loads, but if it doesn't, we'll try disconnecting. There we go. Okay. So bit of bugs here and there, but hopefully it won't be. Let me know if you run into any issues with this. It should be directly as like a GitHub repository. I'll probably add a link somewhere here. But basically, we've all seen DEX interfaces. This is a Uniswap v2 style DEX deployed directly on Hyperion. And of that, we can see the different tokens that we have currently. So right now you have Metis, USDT, DAI, WETH, and WBTC. So we can select, Metis and then USDT. And then there's like some amount in the liquidity pool over here. We can also take a look at, USDT and Wrapped Ethereum. It is, I believe, market prices have been shifting. So, and nobody has deployed any type of bots directly for this DEX. So this is we haven't seen it, let's say, rebalance as quickly as other sources. You can, of course, add liquidity here, USDT and WETH. You can do all the trading. If you do need test tokens, so again, you can go back to the documentation, and there should be a link here for the HyperHack forum where you can come and request test tokens. And so I've provided a few to people, but I'll provide a USDT for this so that you can start interacting with this DEX. Okay, so back to the actual documentation. We have also deployed a subgraph for this DEX, and you can go on it by clicking here. And over here, so subgraph.metis.io, subgraphs name hype test DEX. So again, like this is the actual DEX itself is where are you? Hype-test-dex, and then the subgraph endpoint is the same, hype test DEX. So over here, you can make multiple queries related to the information. So we can come here, we can query like the different swaps that occurred over time. And so we can basically see like all the interactions that were made. We can also, yeah, so you can come in and construct your queries based on whatever that you're, let's see if this one will run. So yeah, you can see like this is the Uniswap factory. This is useful if you want to, reference this within your AI agents so that they do things on the behalf of yourself, and then you want to make this interaction happen. So I'll go over the MCP that was also deployed with it. So we can go over here. We have the MCP. So it's the, again, Uniswap v2 MCP server. And it's a very, very basic, very, the different interactions that are being made is basically just information about a specific token. I did my best to map the typical queries that you would make over here directly on the GraphQL endpoint to this MCP. Oh, I think it'll go over here. Let me just go back here, and then the different queries are made over here as well. So searching different pairs, getting the factory info, getting the different swaps. So different information essentially that your AI agent would need. And how this interaction will look like in the bigger scheme of things is the user would interact with the DEX or the AI agent. The subgraph would index that interaction. The MCP server would then query the subgraph that's here. So again, like the endpoint that was provided here, which was the Uniswap v2 subgraph URL. This is the query that it's being done. And then afterwards, it'll be consumed by a provider such as Aleph. And we can see that this this being made over here. Let me just transfer this guy over here. So this is the, for example, like an Aleph, 2 Aleph agents. One is a analysis bot, another is a trading bot, and the trading bot essentially, or actually, this is more of like the tool bot, maybe. So maybe tool bot. You are a tool bot. So this is the one that will be querying the different information. So tool agent. It'll be like, what are the top pools in the Uniswap v2 subgraph? And then it'll format the information present here. So we can see like on a previous run that I did, it pulled in the information related to here. So what are the top pools? And then it queried the MCP server. And then just again, like as a refresher, here's the MCP server. It'll query this server that it's running. And then we will essentially get the different types of pairs and information, data associated with it. And then it will take this data and then submit it to the analysis agent. And then from this analysis agent is just analyze the following pools. It'll take the information present, and then it'll showcase what unique characteristics are present in here. So the transaction count, breaks down that information, does some like basic technical analysis and all of that portion. So yeah, this is supposed to be like a fully fledged way to start using and interacting directly on Hyperion, specifically for those of you that are building using these trading bots. Yeah, and then after that, I guess going back to the HyperHack hackathon, the ideathon is still going on up until June 15th. So if you haven't already applied to join, there is still time for this. Yeah, and then that's that's basically all that I have to showcase. I'll actually stop sharing my screen and just yeah. So Ariane had a question. Hi Pavel, could you give a small introduction as to how to use AI in Metis? So yeah, there's different ways that you can. So this is a very broad question, but in terms of the different tracks that we have that's present within the HyperHack, we have these primary tracks. Let me just share my screen again. So we have these primary tracks, AI native and core aligned. So typically this is on-chain AI workflows. Now currently, so you can do this AI inferencing within a test environment within the Metis SDK. So doing this directly on Hyperion is still, let's say, has a couple issues within this. So for the hackathon, we care more about what the idea is, why you're implementing it on chain, and if you can reason on the overall architecture and your decision-making process for integrating AI on chain, that will be worth more. Of course, actually implementing it and doing it is another task, but we want to make sure that you understand why you are deploying these AI models on chain rather than choosing to operate them off chain. And then, of course, for that part, you can take off chain based systems and still do that inferencing on chain using things like these subgraphs that we've showcased. So again, using the subgraph that we provided for the HyperHack, you can make these on-chain data queries to later process them. Yeah. Hopefully that answered a little bit of that question about like the actual how to do the on-chain AI inference part. I see some thumbs up for that. Yeah, I can see the questions on YouTube as well as X. So if anyone's if anyone is messaging, would be able to respond. But hopefully, I want to keep this brief and short. I know, your time is valuable. So any devs that are currently going and building on Hyperion, definitely, if you need any help and any questions at all, feel free to reach out to myself. I'll be able to help forward you to the resources that you need. But again, like the overall goal of this is to be able to clearly architect and demonstrate the value proposition of your product within the Hyperion ecosystem. So architecting the AI agent workflows, on-chain AI agent workflows, as well as the if you're going for the real-time track, architecting the how your product would or how the real-time nature of Hyperion would benefit your product. We care more about rather than saying, this product is the only thing that's the parallelization just adds to a faster transactions. We want to think of a little bit deeper level on what would this enable in terms of user experience, why faster transactions would benefit your product in a way where doing it on another blockchain wouldn't. And then, of course, infrastructure and tools, how you are bringing on board and making the complex things simple. So this is very, very critical for developer onboarding as well as just user onboarding to make complicated things like AI on chain simpler. So Of course, if you have any questions, we do have active support within the forum. So please make your concerns and questions known. And yeah, we'll be there to respond. All right, but I guess if there isn't any more questions, I can just end the stream right now, and then yeah, give you guys the rest of the hour to yourself. So yeah, thank you all for joining, and have a great rest of the day.